Welcome back to Pokemon Y. We've finished off our serious Charizard discourse, which will probably end up coming up again over and over and over, because Stephen doesn't like the Charizard feathers, but whatever.
I didn't say I don't like them. I just think there's a mix-up.
Well, either way, we're going to have some actual plot stuff sort of coming in here now. Here is fucking Lion Man telling us something. Yeah, he's realised that we can use Mega Evolution because he's been keeping tabs on us, which is a little bit worrying, especially given he looks like that. He can't exactly do stealth that well, so has he got cameras or has he got other people looking out for us? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, maybe he's got tracking devices in the hollow things.
I like how you're not even going to try and say it.
I've forgotten the name. Hollow, what was it?
Which one's the phone and which one's the extermination of an entire race?
I was on about... I wasn't even on about that. I was on about the phone.
Well, it's called the Holocaster.
That's it, Holocaster. Oh, God.
That's what I've been getting at. That's why I'm so nervous of trying to fucking say it, because whatever I say, it sounds wrong.
I've never even thought about it, because I've never said it out loud. I've just read it. So, wow.
Well, when you start to realise more about Team Flare's motives, it becomes that little bit more worrying as well.
Oh, wow.
I've been making little comments about this for the last fucking 19 parts and you haven't clocked on yet.
Acknowledge it. Honestly, you spout so much crap that I ignore almost half of what you say every time I see you.
Well, you can't mute me in real life as well. You can turn off me retweets on Twitter, but you can't mute what I say IRL. Yeah, this fucking desert area, we're going to be making our way to the next kind of dungeon, I guess, if you want to count it as a dungeon. I mean, it technically is. I
just realised maybe this area was the inspiration for Let's Go. You can see where the Pokemon are and you can interact with them if you choose.
It also looks a bit bland, so maybe.
Yeah. It looks half-assed.
Good old Trapinch. I like Trapinch, I'm going to be honest.
Largest physical attack out of any first form Pokemon.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I can't remember how much it has, but I know that it's equal to Flygon's.
Oh, right. So does it just stay put the whole way through then? Or?
No, when it turns into Vibrava, its attack decreases. Then when it's back to Flygon, it's back.
So it has like a useless teenage phrase.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of the like slack off, figure off, slacking line where like it's only the middle form that's useful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, slacking is a fucking beast, but it has that fucking ability.
True.
Yeah, where like is it every third attack it can't do anything?
Every second.
Every second one? Holy
yeah,
fuck.
It's like you get an attack, then for a turn you can't do anything. Then the next step you can do an attack, so on.
I thought it was every third one. That's even more of a nerf than I thought. Like, has it at least got like beast attack to balance it out?
Oh yeah, its stats are on par with legendaries. It's
like,
actually above Groudon.
Yeah, so at least it's fair then that it's got that massive nerf.
Its attack is gigantic. Yeah.
I just want to say I fucking love Houndoom so much. Like, that is such a beast design. And like, if it weren't for Charizard, I would definitely use one.
And you have Mega Blastoise, which is wonderful.
Yes, like
that's the kind of cannon I'm talking about.
Well, do you like it with a bit more girth to it, Stephen?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. Plus, he's got the wrist cannons, which makes it even better.
Yeah.
So that's 3.
It's a big fucker, isn't it? Like, I suppose, like, I would like it if it had the 2 cannons on its back and the wrist cannons, but that might be a bit overkill at that point, mightn't it?
Plus, I love the way Dragon Pulse is interpreted in the anime for Blastoise.
Oh, how does that work?
It shoots out an energy blast from all 3. All 3 of them have a dragon head on them, and then they merge into one giant dragon head.
You might have shown me this at some point, actually. I have that image coming to my mind. That's fucking cool.
It's one of the members of the Elite Four that has it, and they use it against Alarm, is it? He's the one with the Charizard.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
I recognise the name.
Use it against his Charizard, and the Charizard loses.
Well, of course, type advantages tend to work like that. And yeah, I may have fucked up there. You may have seen an edit where I mistaken east and west. So it took me a bit to realise, oh, actually, east is that way.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm always getting mixed up with east and west. But then you've got the dowsing machine, which really, you have no excuses.
That implies I was paying attention to that rather than a guide on the internet. But I will say the Kalos power plant, I really like this music. It's just so, it's like the fitting level of mysterious, isn't it? And granted, they do use it again in another dungeon, but I love this guy just running in panic.
Used a knock-knock joke to introduce himself. Oh. I think this is the point when you really realise these guys are a terrible group.
Well, I mean, like, he could have came and, like, dabbed on us or something.
Many of their poses, I could easily interpret it as a dab.
Well, like, so the thing is, that's a good strategy, but what if Serena dabbed back? Then it'd be fun.
Then this would be the worst Pokemon game ever.
I don't know. I could see Team Skull's dabbing. Like, that wouldn't be out of character for them, would it?
That'd be fair. I like Team Skull. They're fun.
They're fucking dogs trying to be criminals, aren't they? I love it. Okay, evil teams. Like, have we got favourites and least favourites? Go on, Stephen.
I think Team Plasma are probably technically the best, tied with Team Rocket. I mean, Team Rocket's definitely more grounded in a way, like they're all about stealing Pokemon, making money, whereas Team Plasma is about, let's take over the world. But they do it in at least a threatening and interesting way.
Well, the thing with Plasma is that there's this idea of evil but covering itself as a noble act.
Yeah.
Which, that could be taken as social commentary these days as well, which that makes it that little bit more interesting. Chris, you got a favourite team, mate? Even team?
Probably Rocket. Just
the safe pick.
I haven't really played that many Pokemon games, so
what do we think of Magma and Aqua?
I like them, but they are kind of idiots in the fact, like, I mean, this is even hammered home even more with the Pokemon Generations animations.
I do have to interrupt for a second there. This guy is a fucking genius. Did you see what he was doing? He just said that these bottles of drink that he's selling, they're usually 200, but because it's an emergency, he'll sell them to us for 300.
Brilliant.
What a fucking legend. But yeah, what he's saying, Stephen.
But yeah, Magma and Aqua, they're kind of idiots. It's like, I understand what they're going for, they think what they're doing is a noble act, but then there's the fact that they try to control these legendary Pokemon that are forces of nature, that are essentially gods of the planet. I mean, Groudon creates land, Kyogre can somehow create more water.
Well, to give them some credit, they do kind of realise how fucking dumb that is. I know in Emeralds, like when Max is awakened Groudon and he wasn't expecting like the heat wave to come from it and like all that sort of shit. I suppose they're kind of, you associate them more with the Pokemon that they're controlling, don't you? Which kind of justifies them a little bit, especially when you think Groudon and Kyogre are fucking cool designs.
So one of my favourite comics that I've seen representing their idiocy was Archie. It's like, this isn't what I wanted, and then the trainer's next to him just like, well, what did you expect to happen? And in his head it's got like him riding on the back of Kyogre, it's all happy, it's got above them saying ocean pals. It's like, yeah, I'd say that's probably what's going through his head.
Yeah. I still think the best one, I've mentioned this many times, but I like the Kyogre the worst for a mate one, because his drizzle makes it always rain, so you can't go out anywhere with him.
But Groudon's no better. They'd be boiling hot all the time.
Yeah, this is going to be a fight loads of Team Flare Grunts part, so I hope you're ready for that.
Oh yeah, I did mention Pokemon Generations, because even in that, they show them just being like, oh god, we've cocked up, because one of the Magma admins, for some reason, she has a psychic vision of the future, even though in none of the games do they ever even reference
Was that
it.
Courtney?
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah, she's the waifu one.
And she gets it's like they get in the submarine, they go out to find Groudon, and she suddenly gets a vision of them finding Groudon. He's burst out of a volcano in his primal form, and then shoots an energy blast at them. And it pretty much implies that they would end up dying.
So she's basically got Shulk's future sight thing.
Yeah. And yet it's never heard from again because these are just 5-minute clips.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you've got... Then they show Archie and he awakens Kyogre, unleashes it. He's like, yeah, this is good. But then he's out there and he sees just tidal waves, tsunamis all over the place. And he starts shouting at Kyogre. Kyogre is flying. Because, Kyogre can do that when it summoned a storm to lift it out of the ocean. And then it heads towards them to kill them.
When you say it's flying, is it flying on a cool tornado thing? Or?
No, it's just... It looks very intimidating because it's bigger than the submarine they're on. Because it is huge.
Okay,
and it's just flapping its flippers and just creating hurricanes as it's going along, flying around.
Like, admittedly, my mental image of this is probably funnier than how it actually is, but still, like, that kind of defeats the object, because, like, aren't they meant to be, like, the trio of, like, Groudon is the ruler of the land, Kyogre is the ruler of the water, and Rayquaza is the ruler of the sky. That's like their dynamic, so if it's like, fuck it, Kyogre can fly too, why not? No, it just makes me want to see Groudon flying.
Yeah, but I imagine,
waving his arms around.
I imagine that if Kyogre is heading towards Rayquaza, the only reason Groudon is flying is because of the storm it's generating. So I imagine that once it gets near Rayquaza's Delta Stream would just cancel it out, and then Kyogre would just nosedive as soon as he gets near.
Glad I brought my parachute today.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get you. Oh god, there goes the wind current. And it just makes it even worse if it happens to be flying above land. Because they've just got this giant legendary whale flip-flopping along the land.
Well, no, you say that, but it makes you wonder whether it's intentional, because like, I remember hearing a while back that whales do sometimes deliberately ground themselves as a like form of suicide. Like,
really?
They are the only other species that like people have witnessed that behaviour in.
Wow.
Like they deliberately beach themselves.
That's astonishing.
Yeah, but like if that's what's going on with Kyogre, it's like I give in, Groudon wins.
I mean, I thought you was going to make a reference to like killer whales, because when they're hunting seals and they're on the beach, killer whales, they will launch themselves onto the beach to try and get them, and then they'll just sort of flip-flop back into the water.
Oh shit, I didn't think this through.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately the seals aren't too far off from the ocean, so it's like there's enough water for the killer whale to be like, okay, I'm going back now, this is too risky.
Imagine if that happened like on a tourist beach or something, it's like this whale just dives forward and it's like, don't worry guys.
Oh, this is awkward.
Hey, do you mind giving me a bit of help here?
I said it wouldn't happen again, look what happens.
Yeah, they really shouldn't have installed jets on me.
It's like, just imagine that when it's up against Groudon. Kyogre just goes diving up to Groudon, but its attack doesn't quite work. It's just like, hang on a minute, hang on.
Yeah, just give me a few minutes, I'll be fine, I'll be at your way soon.
Groudon uses Precipice Blades and just impales it.
No, Groudon's the one who's got like the strength, he can pick it up and throw it back. It's like when the fishermen are like releasing their catch, and except Groudon's just got this massive fucking like whale or Kyogre or some shit.
Thing is though, the battles between Kyogre and Groudon are now a bit awkward because of the primal forms, because it's a matter of whose ability is going to activate first. Because if Groudon's activates first, then it's essentially Kyogre can't do anything.
I would love it if after their abilities are kicked in, they're both just alternating using Sunny Day and like Rain Dance, and it's just like a pissing battle between them. Like, no, I want it. I want sun. I want rain. I want sun. I want rain.
Well, with their primal abilities now, it's taken even further because Primal Kyogre, I can't remember their names, but the names of their abilities. But Primal Kyogre's ability prevents fire moves from ever being used.
Oh, right.
And then Groudon's, which is infinitely more useful, evaporates all water attacks.
Yeah, so that battle's a bit rigged.
So you've got this Pokemon that would be 4 times weak to water moves because it now gains the fire type, but its ability nullifies water moves. So now it's only weak to ground and rock.
Yeah, does Mega Rayquaza have any type cancelling?
Delta Stream in it. I'm trying to remember now. It cancels out droughts, drizzle, and that. It doesn't cancel out the abilities that Groudon and Kyogre have if they happen to be in first, because that's how that works. But there is something about Delta Stream which increases some of its attacks. I think it loses all flying type weaknesses. So Mega Rayquaza only has dragon weaknesses.
That's pretty useful, actually.
Yeah.
He's basically like a super legendary Kingdra at that point.
Exactly. He's a flying dragon with none of the weaknesses of flying.
Wait, doesn't he have a fairy weakness?
Yes.
Oh.
Hence I said none of the weaknesses of flying.
Oh,
So-
yeah. That makes him even more fucking powerful than he is anyway, doesn't it?
Plus the fact that Dragon Ascent is essentially the flying type version of close combat.
It's like they want this thing to be as beast as possible, don't they?
With attack and special attack higher than that of a regular Mewtwo.
Mm.
Almost, just below that of Mega Mewtwo's, but still the fact that it's even near that level is ridiculous, with an increase in speed. I think maybe a slight increase in defense is probably not, but even if it did, this thing's still broken because it can hold an item.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't need the Mega Stone like
No,
the others.
because it ate its Mega Stone.
It just digested it like.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened.
Fuck, swallowed it.
in
This will hurt later.
In the Delta episode, it's like, here's the Mega Stone, picks it up, eats it, and it's like, there, now give me an item to hold.
I want that leftovers. I'm going to keep healing between turns. Fuck you.
It is essentially that.
Well, are there any like you got like Dragon Fang or something? Could that make it even more? Is it Dragon Fang, the thing that buffs Dragon type
I
attacks?
think it does, yeah. But that's kind of pointless, really, because you would be better off using a Choice Band, a Choice Scarf, or a Life Orb. Because those, the choice items will increase what attack or special attack or speed by half, but lock you into one move for the rest of the game. Or the Life Orb, which will increase by about, I think, 20% or a third, but it will also sap some of your life because it acts in a sort of recoil way.
Although, like, if you're saying that about how it can lock it into one attack, like, if you're gonna use like Outrage or something, then you can probably sweep a team with that. Just purely on the basis of its fucking Mega Rayquaza.
Unless there's a fairy type, in which case, don't do that. Which is the whole point of fairy types, because Outrage was getting ridiculous in Gen 5.
Well, it's that and the fact that Dragon, it's sort of not really a special type anymore, is it? It's like, there's so many Pokemon that are Dragon or part Dragon now.
Dragon is more referred to being just, like, unique and powerful, rather than actually being dragon often enough.
Basically, yeah. And so, higher Venusaur. We're talking about like the fucking coolest Pokemon, and it's higher Venusaur.
Leave Venusaur alone, he's fine, he's doing his thing.
What is his thing?
He's a big frog with a palm tree coming out of his back.
They say he's a big frog, but I don't see him hopping around like a frog, or a toad, or whatever.
Well, have you seen Let's Go?
I have, but it's so goofy.
I love that it does that. It's actually, when I saw that, I was just like, oh my god, how have I never even pieced this together? I've never imagined Venusaur running, but this works.
Well, I mean, like, all I can think about is that one Venusaur from Pokémon. You know, Venusaur. That's like the coolest Venusaur that's ever been to me. I guess I know that's not the most like complimentary thing of hey, Ego Raptor made it cool, but you know, Liepard's pretty cool.
Yeah, Liepard's a decent design. It's not a great Pokemon, but it is a good design.
Some of the things that like, there's a few Dark type designs that I like that maybe aren't the most useful ones because I like Liepard. I also really like Umbreon. Design-wise, like Espeon might be my favourite evolution, but Umbreon is still really fucking cool as a design, especially the shiny one.
Blue rings.
Yeah, all the rings on it are like a light sky blue sort of thing.
It kind of has that neon effect in a way.
Yeah, they glow, don't they? It's so fucking cool.
Well, at least it kind of feels like they're glowing, but I think that's because how well it complements the design. They sort of tricks you into thinking that.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, still, it's like that colour works so well against the black, doesn't it? Like, it's weird that like I prefer Espeon as a design, but Umbreon got such a better shiny one because like Espeon's shiny design, it's like that neon green, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, why?
I don't hate it. It's not a bad shiny colour, but it's like you feel like it could have been better.
Yeah, I seem to recall Jolteon's one looking kind of ugly as well.
Yeah, that's a green.
What?
I'll admit there, it's like that's the only one of the evolutions where I'm like, nah, that doesn't really work. Could have gone with a blue or something.
Well, like, I'm trying to think what colours would work better for Espeon, because Espeon could look cool in blue as well.
Yeah,
like, if Espeon was the blue from Umbreon's rings, well, I'd like to see a black Espeon.
Or a Gengar purple.
Maybe. Honestly, I've never really been that keen on the shiny Pokemon when they're just a slightly different shade to the base form. So, like, just having an Espeon being slightly more purple doesn't really do it for me. And that's just a general trend with my opinions on shiny Pokemon, because shiny Pokemon, they're a rare thing. They're meant to be like a special event that you encounter a shiny Pokemon. And so, if you've got like a 1 in 4,096 chance in Gen 6 of encountering this rare Pokemon, you want it to be something a bit special. That works really well when it's a Pokemon that's radically different to its base form. Think like Charizard being black instead of orange, and things like that. So, you know, I don't really want to dilute that special feeling by, oh, it's just a little bit different. It's not really a major change. It's not going to stand out from a distance, you know? Okay, here's a task. Try to make Leafeon look cool. What colour?
Leafeon already looks cool.
No, it fucking doesn't.
I do not understand your hatred for Leafeon. Leafeon looks great.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
it looks boring.
It does not. Glaceon looks boring in comparison.
Fuck you.
The
Glaceon
design
is cool.
is sleek. It's got that It's got the. I do not hate Glaceon, but I will insult it in defence of Leafeon because your taste is so bloody crap.
You are wrong. But Glaceon, if I were to pick a shiny colour, what colour is it shiny?
I can't remember.
Because I'm thinking it looked really cool in purple.
Yeah, I was thinking
maybe.
that.
Yeah, or a pinkish colour.
Maybe a pinky sort of thing. Like, I'm thinking because it's got these sort of icy, crystally sort of design features to it. I can't think along the lines of some of the Chaos Chow and their designs of how the colours blend into that.
Or even solid white.
Yes. Like, maybe not solid white, but like a shiny sort of white.
Very powdery blue colour in a way. It's very faint, like you can... Just a very faint blue, but it's mostly white.
Well, it's not far off from its bluey standard colouring, is it? Like,
No,
it's
it's
a bit
quite
lighter.
a solid blue.
Maybe. I suppose that's depending on the art style they're using for a particular point, isn't it?
I reckon white would work as a shiny form, plus reference to snow.
What about other ones like Flareon? Because his one's quite similar to his standard colour, isn't it?
It's like a yellow, isn't it?
I think it's like a slightly lighter orange or orangey yellowy.
Remember.
The fact we can't remember is quite telling, isn't it?
I think yellow could work, maybe.
See, the thing is, I know I'm saying this for all of them, but that'd be cool in black as well, wouldn't it?
Vaporeon is pink.
Yeah, Vaporeon actually looks
weird.
sort of alright to me.
I would have preferred something like a green colour, like algae in a way reference.
Yeah, maybe like if it was like Politoed sort of colour.
Yeah, I reckon that could work.
Yeah, like I don't know, because it's one of them that Vaporeon to me, I like its standard design so much. But trying to recolour it, kind of anything that you do to it would lose it a little bit.
Sylveon, it goes from pink to blue.
Nah, well, fair play, I guess.
Yeah, either one works for it.
Let's make Sylveon black as well, fuck it. They all look cool in black.
Turn it into a goth.
Yes, Sylveon as having a goth face, that'd be fucking great.
Oh god.
Imagine like with the ribbons and shit, but they're all like dark black and... Oh god, that'd be fucking funny.
I assume the ribbons and the tassels are probably made of fur. I don't want to think of them as possibly being flesh. That just seems so wrong. It must be fur. It has to be.
It's not fluffy though. Anyway, this guy's gone back to now reducing the prices, so it's selling them for 100 now. It's not a necessity anymore. We don't need them, so fuck it, we'll do it cheaper.
Yeah.
Welcome to capitalism. Enjoy your stay.
That guy's actually stuck in that section because of the size of his hat.
That's the point, actually.
But now that you've gone back there, he said he's not stuck. He likes the breeze. What breeze? You're in a small section. It's like a cubicle.
There might be a draft or something going through. We left the door open on the way in.
It looks like you've just caught him at a toilet and the door's open. Nobody is bothering to close it for some privacy.